Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to my Groove channel. My name is Anthony, and today is my day through 8 through 13 self love, 30 days of self love, and I'm on day 8 through 13. I haven't reported in a long while. I need to turn down the game just a little bit. I haven't reported in a while because of the fact that I've been going through quite a bit of changes that I need to actually get in the habit of doing. Uh, I was juggling my tarot with the Groovy Mermaid project, along with work, along with family life, and on top of that, trying to put together a workout plan and a diet plan, and of course, trying to get back into the habit of sleeping correctly. I mean, there was a lot of changes that I actually been going through, and that's one thing that I'm going to be sharing with everybody tonight. And I want to be able to follow up with this because it's really important that I log this. I mean, who knows who will come across these videos, and I would love for somebody to benefit this. And I have a lot to show today as I'm trying to document this, take pictures, and so forth. And if the music is too loud, please make sure you comment in the chat for me, please. That way I can adjust the volume. So, for those of you who may not be aware of what's going on, and yes, I will be doing a 3-card tarot spread free later after I talk about the 30 days of self-love. So I do invite everybody to please stay, comment in the chat, ask questions, and so forth. So each day I'm doing a affirmation. I actually go through a website that I will post a link in the description. And these affirmations are things that I need to talk about to myself. I try to get up in the morning, ritually at least, to go walking in the morning just to kind of absorb everything. Nothing too extreme as far as exercise, but just to kind of get the day started. I did kind of fall off a couple times with that, but it was okay because it was, with me adjusting to a new sleep schedule, especially with my energy going to a different fluctuation, it really actually comes with a little bit of a challenge, a little bit. So, one of these affirmations that I'm going to share with you, first one, is I am the only one who can determine my self worth, and I am worthy of my dreams. Now, upon thinking about this, I was thinking in terms of, I believe that I'm actually pretty worthy. I mean, because I have a, not to gloat or anything, but I believe I have a pretty decent job. And even with me being successful, sometimes I undersell myself. When I first joined OpenDNS, going from Academy of Art to OpenDNS, I was willing to take a pay cut, but I didn't realize it at the time until the person actually told me over the phone. It's like, well, we can't meet the salary that you're getting from your previous job, so you're going to have to get a reduced salary. I really wanted to get in, and I probably could have argued a little bit and bargain them up a little bit, and well, not bargain them, but kind of make a deal to where I could probably just get a little bit more. But instead, I was so afraid that, well, I didn't have a bachelor's degree, which is what they required. I was really desperate to move, and therefore I said, I'll go ahead and take it. And it was definitely a big pay decrease. I almost lost maybe $400 to $600 less on my paycheck, and it was actually very important for me to have that money. So I had to make sure I balanced out my checkbooks and stuff like that. And moving forward, I was able to kind of realize my talents, and because I was under new management and people that actually really cared for my well-being at my work, especially the time my friends and partner, about over, gosh, 14 years ago, I think, 13 years ago, I then started realizing that I have this potential. I was actually able to get into this job without the bachelor's degree, and they're actually seeing the worth that I'm capable of, and they actually started giving me a little bit of a raise here and there, and I was actually able to take on new projects that they didn't even know I was capable of. And so when people come to me with guidance as far as like, how can I get my resume better, or what kind of job can I get into, and I always come up with something, for them at least, is to put down as much stuff about yourself as possible. Because these little things, even though we sometimes do little cookie cutter resumes and cover letters and stuff like that, we kind of say the exact same thing. Everybody has the exact same tone, but we don't pay attention to the character of who we can present to these companies. And with you expressing your character shows of how much of a compatible person you are, and how much you're willing to learn their products or technology that you're wanting to get into to get this job. And that's what I was feeling that I was capable of at the time when I first started. I felt like I can definitely do the job, and I proved it to them. And as soon as I did that, it just went from one to the other to where now I'm actually doing like motion graphics design, which is, not only is it a fun job for me, but it definitely is now my dream job. And it's because not only was my partner pushing me, but I was also maintaining that push too, to show that potential, that I can actually get this job. I can actually get the dream job that I want. There's a lot of time between the time of me getting out there in the world to the time I am now. But time, at least to me, with my belief in the universe, the energies and things like that, time is very expansive. People believe like, oh, I don't have a short amount of time, but really, if you don't pay attention to that and just kind of go with your goals, go with your dreams, then time can be infinite. And that's why this affirmation is important to me, that I realize that, I can market myself. I have the confidence. Everybody else has the confidence to do it. It's just that we sometimes undersell ourselves in order to get what we need or what we want. And sometimes we're afraid to ask the question, well, I would like some more, or I'd like to do this, with the fear that they're going to reject you and then say, oh, I'm sorry, you can't get the job, or you can't do what you're wanting, when all they can really just say is no. That's the worst they can say. And then you'll be stuck with the one biggest question that can kill anybody's mood, to kill your dreams especially. What would have happened if I asked? And that's a very important question that sometimes we ask ourselves, like, what if I actually did this? What if I actually went on this trip? I didn't go. But if I went on this trip, what would have happened? What would I have learned? What would I have gained? Or what if I asked the boss for a raise? But the reason why I didn't, because I was afraid to. But if I actually took the chance to ask, he might have said yes or no. But at this point, since I never asked, I never will know. And that's the one thing that'll kill us all inside. And then really make us forget our worth, and then make it harder for us to obtain that dream. So that's why it's really important for me to be as positive and outgoing as possible, and to connect with people. And my boss even tells me, like, she knows how I feel, and she always tells me she's proud of me and stuff like that. She doesn't have to say that, but she feels that she needs to say that to me, and I love hearing it too. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm glad you're proud of me, but what I really want most from you is just your respect and the confidence that I'm capable of completing the job, completing the project, because I know I can. I'm fucking awesome. I can do it. So that's what makes it very important for me for that particular affirmation. The next one, for the next day, for day 9, I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to enter a new phase in my life. I'm ready to grow and get better. Now, for some of you who may have following some of my tarot live streams, especially the challenge that I'm doing, you may have known that my partner and I has broken up of 15 years. That really took a toll on me. I believed that I was doing something wrong. Hi, Heath. And I believed that the spirit guides were against me and that I wasn't really ready to move forward. And I was doing things wrong. I was eating the wrong foods, hamburgers, Jack in the Box, McDonald's, because I felt to myself like, you know what, I'm just going to do this for a little bit because I want to be able to just eat some comfort food. I'll be happier this way. And then I'll get back on the wheel. But really, it was actually setting me back. And until I took the time to sit back and really ask myself, and I'll be really, really brutally honest here. No matter, how, weird this may sound, or some of you may like, oh God, I didn't want to hear that, but I feel like I need to express this. I was out there on some dating sites, and I was trying to hook up, like a rebound sex. And I was chatting with one person, things were going good, it was a very hot conversation. And things were going really interesting. I was kind of like excited. I was going to meet a person and we're going to, have sex. Until towards the end of the day, because we were supposed to be the next following day, until the end of the day, or actually more importantly, actually, not till the end of the day, it was actually throughout the entire day, I had a twisting gut feeling. What the heck am I doing? Is this really what I want to do that's going to make me happy? And so the person was messaging me. He's like, "Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow." Or he's, messaging me the next day. He's like, "I'm ready for you." And I actually was being very honest with him. I said, "You know what? I just got out of this relationship, 15 years, and I've told him." Instead of giving him an excuse to where he can understand it and then all of a sudden come back and think that this is temporary, I told him, like, I'm not ready for this. I thought I was, and I thought this is what I wanted, and this would make me happy. But if I'm being honest with myself, it wasn't making me happy. I felt like I almost, I felt like I was maybe losing touch to myself because it's been a while since I've met up with somebody, at a hookup like that, and it's not that the fact I was feeling disgusting or something like that. It's just the fact that it wasn't who I was, and I was telling myself, I promised myself I'd find love. I'd promise I'd do it, but this is not the way. Because even if I did hook up with him, I feel like that it was going to turn into something else, to where I'm going to be totally unhappy. So I told myself, there's going to be times where, I'm going to be feeling, the heat, in other words of saying that. But I feel like I have that power to kind of really get beyond that and be able to control it and look at something more inspiring for myself. And that's when I actually, started talking to my friend Yvonne, who's the Indigo Mermaid TV in the YouTube channel. And we were just talking about meal plans and things like that. And I'd said to her, you know what? I'm getting tired of this shit. when I explained this exact same story to her. And um, that's when I decided I'm going to get on this diet. I started with the intermittent fasting at first, and she was really worried for me in that. And I was like, I'm just going to go run the treadmill and get slimmed down, and then I'll work out weights. And then I realized that that's not the right way to do it. But hi, Inspired Butterfly. How you doing? Um, um, I started doing, remembering back at my weight training when I was like 20 years old or so, and it just occurred to me, I need to be more smart. I need to be smarter than this. And for me to actually feel like I'm ready to grow and get better is when I need to be smart about my health, because my diabetes is really bad. I was ranging in the 300s, and the highest I've had was 500, where the meter tells me I need to go to the fucking hospital. And I was getting tired of that. So I started paying attention to diet. I started paying attention to better things like, well, I need to get into weight training, not just cardio and stuff like that. And I'll show you some pictures that I have here in a minute. But that's when I started, a couple weeks ago, doing some lifting weights with free weights, and then I got myself a Bowflex machine used, and I actually started a workout plan for myself where I'm doing my upper body, my mid body, my legs, and started eating properly, um, and looking to better diets, like researching better diets, buying better foods. And at that point, I felt like that I am ready at that point to actually grow. I wasn't there yet to say that I'm now better. I'm now ready for the world. But I have started, and this is that milestone in my life where I'm no longer depressed. I don't have any other issues that I'm dealing with right now, to where I'm able to actually move forward and take control of my life, to be more responsible about my life, to give me life food, to make me live longer, stronger, and to make me feel good. And not only to make me feel good, the benefit of looking good too. And until I'm ready for that day, that day will come soon. I don't know when. It does take some time and patience, but when that time comes, that's when I'll be ready for love. And if love comes in before then so be it. But at this point, I'm not looking. I see a lot of good-looking guys, and people, sometimes chat with me and stuff like that. But it's like I always say to myself, just be friends with them first. Just be friends. Just make connections. That's all you need to do right now. That's what you need to focus on. Don't lose that sight. And so that's how this affirmation really affected me, and that's what I thought about. And here, even though the whole thing about me hooking up happened a while ago, like last month, reading this and then making me realize of what I almost did, it just kind of made me take onto that next level of thinking, like, wow, like I probably could have gotten in a lot of trouble, STD or something, or just be unhappy, maybe even get hurt, because people get hurt out there, raped, especially men get raped too. And so I can't nor will I take that risk. Otherwise I won't be here with you doing tarot and the Groovy Mermaid. But that's how that affirmation affects me. I am a healer of my own life and of others. Now, this affects me in a way where, wow, it actually kind of started a little bit on Mother's Day. When I was in my relationship, I have almost excommunicated myself from my family in a way. I've missed a lot of things in their lives, their marriages, children being born, Christmases, holidays, everything. Everything. It wasn't until Mother's Day came around, and it was one of my cousin's birthday, and they wanted to do a Zoom, and I was trying to reconnect with them before that in a chat, and I didn't tell them my status, what was going on in my relationship, and as soon as maybe a half hour to an hour into the conversation, and I was like, if they ask, they ask, but I'm not going to bring it up because that's not what I'm here for. But then one person did ask, where's your partner? And I explained to them, like, we're no longer together. And because of that, they didn't realize that, well, that must be why I'm actually here, talking to them. And at that point, I had the courage to actually face up to them while they're all quiet, and they were giving me all this attention. And I said, everybody, I'm really sorry for missing out on your guys' lives. It was actually maybe 10, 13 years since I've seen my grandmother physically. 10 years. And just last Christmas was the first time in 10 years I've seen her again. Like that. And she looked up at me and she started, getting really teary-eyed. She's really happy to see me. And I was seeing the kids there, the family, and they were just talking to me as if they saw me since day one. And I really missed that. And then I was talking to them during the New Year, not New Year's, but Mother's Day. I apologized to them, and they said that they don't care, that they're really happy to see me, and that they will accept me. And I missed that the family feeling, and at that point, excuse me. At that point, I knew that I could probably be there for them if they ever needed my help. And being a person that I used to be to make people happy and laugh, and it wasn't the fact that they were laughing at me, I felt that they were always laughing with me because I just want people to be happy around me. And now I feel that, and actually right now, as a matter of fact, how important this affirmation is to me too is that I'm going to go see my sister this weekend. She lives in Southern California, and she's been stressed out a lot lately, and I'm going to be driving down there, and it's like maybe a 6-hour drive. And she's really looking forward to see me, and I'm looking forward to see her and the children and everything. And I'll be willing to actually spend time with her as a true brother and sister. I mean, it was definitely brother sister before then, and my partner definitely, cared for that too, and he wanted me to make sure that my relationship with her was good. There's some good things out of the relationship that I've had. But this time I'm able to go there by myself and help her because, she's been struggling a little bit and life has been really tough on her. And I want to be able to be there for her and be there for the children as well. Oh boy. So, not only am I a healer for myself, but I definitely want to be a healer for others. And that's kind of why I'm also doing tarot, because not only does it make me happy, but I feel like that I can help others. It's such a small step, and I could definitely do more. But, you know, we all have to start from somewhere, and we have to take one step at a time. Excuse me. So, moving forward to the next one here. My cells, my hormones, bones, and body are perfect balance, and I feel like that I'm getting there. The other day, I was doing some cardio yoga for the first time with Yvonne. She, thank you for your comments, guys. I really appreciate it. She was introducing me to cardio yoga, and it's really intense, a lot more intense than jogging, as a matter of fact. I was sweating like a storm, but it was really opening the door, to new opportunities. And then on top of that, I fell onto a site that was helping me learn more about nutrition, like more nutritional stuff that'll speed up the process of weight loss, but keep the protein within me to make sure that my body is well fed during these workouts. Because what I did learn is that if you're kind of starving yourself because you think that your body is going to burn the fat first before the carbohydrates and the calories, that's wrong. It actually doesn't work like that. And so you need to keep your body fed throughout the day, like 4 meals a day. It's almost 4 meals a day, actually. I'm doing 3 right now, but they're actually pretty well portioned meals, but they're pretty heavy. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is insane, And so as I kept reading more and more, I saw these recipes, and they're light recipes, but they give everything that I need, especially when I'm, for my muscles to heal as I'm doing weight training with it. And so with me doing that, eating properly and exercising and maintaining the diet, not only is it helping me with my glucose and my diabetes and stuff like that, but it's helping me get into the shape, into this mindset. Because now, today, I was actually with Yvonne at a meeting, and I was telling her, man, like, I feel fucking awesome today. And it's been a while since I actually felt like this. Even though I've been kind of home ridden a little bit, like, stuck in home because of COVID, but I really felt really energetic because I have this home gym. I'm keeping myself active, and I'm meeting new people online, and it felt fucking awesome. I'm sorry to drop these F-bombs, but it's true. And because of this, I feel it's energizing my cells. It's energizing my blood, my brain. I'm getting more oxygen to my brain. My heart's beating stronger. And I feel like a difference in my body too, and it feels amazing, which I'm probably going to repeat after these next couple of affirmations too. But because of this, and because of family and friends who have been cheering me on with this, especially with you, all of you out there, who are, especially for you who are here now, not only does that motivate me, but I just feel like that, it's not just about letting you guys down, but letting myself down. I don't want to do that. And I want to be able to continue this adventure and be able to pass on this experience to the next person, because that's how important it is for me. I need to be able to just grab the bull by its horns and take control of my life. Yeah, I'm going to show you the food website in just a second. Definitely will. The next one I have is, my thoughts are kind to me because I deserve peace. I'm not sure if I'm really going to share I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if I want to share this one piece. Maybe it's too soon. It was pretty bad, but maybe I won't. But one thing I will actually share with you for now is that there were times I felt that I was really in fault of a lot of things. talking to my friend Yvonne, the Indigo Mermaid. She pulled cards for me and stuff like that, but she also talked to me at the same time. I had to talk to a psychiatrist as well. And I felt that the spirit guides were against me. I said this earlier, and I felt like that ancestors were against me, that I was doing, that I shouldn't have let things go the way it did. I mean, because I'm no angel myself. I fucked up in this relationship too, but not to the point where I'm cheating. I never cheated in my relationship. I just told a couple of lies that were really stupid. I was naive at the time. One thing that my sister, I was having the deep conversation with my sister, and that's when I told her one of my darkest secrets, which I'll reveal to you guys in due time. But she looked up to me, she said, Anthony, I'm so proud of you right now, because you're doing what you need to do. And she said that with you taking control of your life, you deserve happiness. You don't need to be thinking like this. And she says, you deserve happiness. And the fact that you're doing this now, I know happiness is going to come to you. You deserve the love that you want. You deserve the happiness in this life and moving forward. I'm 40 years old. And I was thinking to myself, 40 years old, I don't have a whole lot of time. Because one comedian actually he's really funny. He said, you're 40 years old, you have 30 summers left. I thought that was kind of funny, because it's kind of true. Like, if you probably think about it, you're probably living to maybe age 70, but if you actually live longer than that, then he'll go like, oh, you have 40 summers left then. And then he told about this one woman who was just kind of like, not really uppity or stuck up, but she's just like really on a high horse. And then one guy was like talking shit to her, and she's like, I'm not gonna let you ruin my next 30 summers. Bye, bitch. And disappears or something like that. I thought that was pretty funny. But as I thought about this, it's like, I am capable of peace within. I even had a person today, actually. I was talking about yoga in a chat room, and I said, cardio yoga is awesome. It helps me gain energy and opens my inspiration or my intuition. And then he goes, what are you talking about intuition? Are you talking about like, what's it called? Metaphysical intuition? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's a bunch of bullshit. He says there's proven science it's proven. He says that energies are not a thing, and he's like, you're just being delusional because you think that you have intuition when it's really just experiences. And I said, well, that's your opinion. And he kept on getting on my case about it, and I wasn't even actually debating with him. I said, you know what, I'm just going to continue this conversation with somebody else, and this person's like, well, you're stupid because you believe in these things and here's scientific fact. I'm like, well, science can always prove and disprove anything. For example, people believe that the earth is flat and therefore they're using science to actually prove it and stuff like that. But does it mean that they're right or wrong? Who are you to tell them? Who are you to tell me what's right and wrong when I'm just following a spirituality that brings harmony, that brings peace, friendship, and love? He's like, well, you can do that anyway without it. I'm like, well, maybe that's true, but you're being mean to me right now. The room went silent. But you know what I did though? I actually private messaged that person. I said, you know what? I really have no ill feelings with you. And I said, I would love to actually continue talking to you another time, but I actually have to get going. And the person actually gave me a smiley face, and we actually added each other. And that is the power to preserve peace and to deserve peace, as this affirmation is talking about. That I'm able to actually look past this issue, this energy this person's giving me, and be able to still be friends with people, even though they didn't believe what I believe. It's almost as if, like, I'm not really not here or there in terms of politics, but there's a lot of people who are really kind of against Trump and stuff like that, and there's, there's always like a wedge in between non-Trump supporters and Trump supporters, and it's neither here or there in my beliefs, you know. But I actually do have a neighbor who are Trump supporters, but I hang out with them, and they know my spirituality. I tell them I'm neither here or there about Trump, and they know about my sexuality, and they are fucking amazing people. They're so hospitable and everything, and they have their beliefs, and I'm like, good, go with your belief. And that's what it's all about. We instead of focusing on these negatives, like, how can we fix the world without doing too much? And obviously things are kind of hard to do that because media and people's actions that occurs in the White House and stuff like that. But it's not, again, neither here or there. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But we can definitely make a better place, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to have that peace in my mind, that if I meet somebody, and even though they may be mean to me, I'm going to do my best to actually be as friendly to them as possible. That's probably what they need. They probably need love in their life, and nobody's probably given them that chance. And maybe if I take that step, one small act can go a long way. That's how I feel. Last but not least, my last affirmation, for at least, covering the 8 through 13, I'll continue to change and grow from a place of self-acceptance. Now, this kind of goes two ways a little bit for me. I had a small time accepting how I look. I consider myself a chubby person, but then, it was only until recent, maybe at the beginning of this year, or actually a little bit longer than that, actually, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I actually started looking at myself and just accepting for what I look like and stuff like that. But it was beyond that. It was beyond the fact that I need to be able to accept my beliefs, accept that I can live a different life, especially now. It is a little bit hard because I do miss my partner. I do love him, but when we get back together, he's probably watching this now, and the truth is I probably will not, because right now we both really need to find ourselves before any type of relationship occurs. And that's one acceptance that we need to work on, is being able to grow past our differences and be able to accept things of what we say, accept the truth. And the truth is that I never did anything wrong, except for the fact that I lied on some things. And maybe one of these days I'll actually go into deep detail in terms of what I did, and especially the relationship. But a little too early for that. One thing I did change was oh, thank you very much, everybody, for your compliments, especially Kat. I'm so glad that you're able to feel better. One thing I wanted to share on this last affirmation, and one thing that kind of changed my mind, was that even though, my partner, I was really close to his family, especially to his mother and to his sister. When Mother's Day came around, I was thinking about the people who I can say good, Happy Mother's Day, but it was just lingering on me so much. Should I text message my ex's mother Happy Mother's Day? And I sent it, and my heart started thumping. But at that point, I was like, you know what? I can grow past this anxiety. I can actually accept the fact that I can talk to whoever I want and maintain composure, professionalism, and being adult. And I'm going to pull up the voicemail right now, as actually, now that I think about this. Give me 1 second as I find it here. But she tried calling me, and I missed her call, but she left me this voice message. I'm gonna play it back for you right now. Oh, hold on. Okay, here we go. I'll pause the music for you too.
Anthony, thank you, sweetheart, for sending me text. And thank you for remembering me. Anthony, no matter what, I love you. And I pray for you, and I hope so you feeling better and better. So I love you so much, and I appreciate you so much. What are you doing? What do you do that? And my family, and thank you. So tell hello, your mother. Tell Happy Mother's Day, your mother, and have a beautiful night. Thank you, Anthony.
So she left that voicemail with me. And because of that voicemail, I was kind of afraid, like, well, would this make my ex want to, communicate back to me? But it didn't really matter at that point, because I really was more interested in just, talking to her at that point, and I do accept what's going on now. And I do accept the fact that he's moving on with his life perhaps right now too. And he's probably in pain because, he probably misses me too. And I do think about him a lot. And like I said, I do miss him too. And I'll always have love for him. Even if I find somebody else new in my life, I'll always have love for him. And to me, that's what it means about self-acceptance. Because I've already accepted myself that I'm proud gay. I'm 40 years old. I'm chubby, but that's something that can be changed. But I'm able to accept current events. I'm able to accept this new life that I'm coming into. And as it says, I'm continuing to change and grow. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm changing and growing and learning what I need to do to move forward, to get this better body, to get this better health. And that is the last affirmation, follow-up affirmation for the 30 days. So some of you were kind of interested in the next thing that I'm actually going to be showing to you. So I guess I'll show you the food first. So here is the website. The website is called wisejug.com. Now I'm going to put the actual URL into and by the way, can you all hear me still? Because it looks like that the mic and audio kind of changed here a little bit, which is not a big problem, but just let me know if you can't hear me, okay? But let me know if you can't hear me. Okay, perfect. You guys can hear me. Awesome. So I'm gonna put this URL into the description at the end. As a matter of fact, I'll do this right now. That way I don't forget. So bear with me 1 second. It's gonna be let's see here. I'm gonna put it right after the exercise and diet. URL. Boom. Save. Okay, you might need to refresh. I'm not sure, but so this page, it talks about about calorie intake or weight loss and stuff like that, and what are the things that we can actually do to put better into our body. And this is actually some stuff that I've actually learned watching YouTube as well. So they have some really great simple small recipes. I didn't want to go for this huge list of recipes. I just wanted to start off small and then build up from there to where I'll actually have a healthier diet. And the first one here, we have a vegetable breakfast. Um, you use egg whites with basil, olive oil, parmesan, cherry tomatoes, whole grain toast. It asks for skim milk, but I use coconut milk. And it's probably a good idea to remind everybody that almond milk is probably not good. Although I went to Costco and all they had was almond milk, but I actually have mixed one for it. So don't kill me, please. But I'm using substitute and try to be lactose free because I'm a little bit lactose intolerant. And instead of Greek yogurt, I actually got coconut yogurt, which is unsweetened as well, plus strawberries. And you can mix this all together, making this like little parfait kind of piece. You also have this oatmeal. I actually made this today, and you're pretty much using sound of my phone here. You're pretty much using like whole grain oats. I actually bought some full rolled oats from Sprouts, as well as banana. Again, using the coconut yogurt. I have my vanilla extracts, and I don't actually drink coffee. I do sometimes drink tea, but I just don't really drink those kind of things. So I'm thinking about getting like a green tea supplement that I could just take in, ingest like as a pill form instead of drinking it, because I just don't really drink tea. It doesn't really faze me, nor do I really like the taste a lot. Maybe I might train myself to actually enjoy it, but we'll see. So that's one of them, and this was actually really good. You can put a little cinnamon onto it, and it's a really good meal. And what's really good about this too, this rich in fiber, especially if you're a diabetic, fiber is your friend when it comes to diet. When you're like a type 2 diabetic like myself. An omelet. I actually made this morning, and one thing that I've learned, because I'm actually introducing collagen into my diet, and one thing that actually promotes collagen is broccoli, because broccoli seems to be like a huge source of vitamins. It actually has a lot more vitamin C, or actually helps you produce more vitamin C, than orange juice. And I actually had to come off orange juice and juices altogether, because that can always raise your sugars like dramatically. But and one thing about Costco, they actually give you egg whites in cartons too. So I actually have quite a bit to last me for almost 2 weeks, which is perfect. So I chopped up some broccoli, and in my recipe I did actually portobello mushrooms with broccoli. I used one egg, as it says here, like one regular egg with like a cup of egg whites, and mixed it all up, and it came out really delicious. And I used actually a mixture of both butter, like real butter, not margarine. There's a big difference between the two. Butter and olive oil. Okay, and the reason why I use the two is not just for taste and creaminess, but it also kind of gives me the fats that I need too. And I try to get some really good quality butter as well. So there's that. The omelet and the oatmeal I actually had today was so delicious, and it actually kept me full for the rest of the day. Then we have our lunches. This one actually looks really good. This one's like, they're asking for 4 ounces of protein, which didn't really explain what, but then it also mentions grilled chicken as well on the second option. So I'm not sure if that was like a typo, but they're talking about mixed vegetables, which I can do myself. I just buy the vegetables myself and cut it and then mix it together. I don't like buying the frozen, pre-frozen mixed veggies. Because I just don't think that's a really good alternative. I'd rather just get the ingredients fresh, right? And with this right here, it's like a very simple meal, because you also have your carbohydrates, a little bit of carbohydrates, but instead of using white rice, I'm actually using brown rice, because instead of using white rice, brown rice is a lot more natural. I'm not saying that white rice is bleached or anything, but it's just like, does have more carbohydrates than brown rice. So there's that. Plus, I'm also trying to eat more quinoa to introduce into my salads and to my meals. Wild rice is super, super awesome. I love wild rice too. I'm not much into Greek salad. I like salads, but Greek salad, I don't know why. I just don't like the vinegary taste, but I'm going to try this one of these days, I promise you. But that's another good lunch. And they even have here turkey wraps. I actually bought some Costco style ground turkey. And I'm actually not only going to be doing this, but I'm also going to be doing like ground turkey tacos. And I'm going to show you some really great ideas because, as a matter of fact, I could probably show you in my Instagram. There was one. Let's see here. I knew it was going to make me log in. Give me 1 second here. Oh, I get that. Four, 7, 5, 9, 1, 8. I did this before a few years ago, and it's super duper scrumdiddlyumptious. I mean, it's really that good. Thank you, Heath. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Okay, there we go. Now, here's the meal that I made before, and I'm going to do it again soon, and I'll actually record myself doing it. It's this one right... Come on, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Because I want to get this here before Heath goes away. Here it is. These are cheese taco shells, tacos in a way. I don't know how better way to explain that, but these are taco shells made out of cheese. What I'll do is I'll bake it on a silicone mat, and as you see right there in the middle, top middle, there's the cheese melts all together with a little burnt sides on it. And what I'll do is I'll lift up the silicone and I put it on like a spoon, like a raised spoon, which will give it that shell look, right? It'll kind of mold it into a shell, and then from there, I create something very healthy. Like I can use straight veggies. In this case, I believe I used ground turkey as well as some avocado, green peppers, tomatoes, and some sour cream. And so I'm going to be doing this again. And what's really cool about this is that instead of being carbohydrates with the taco shells, it's actually just straight cheese. It's really good fats for you, right? So, pew, 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 pew. Bye, Heath. I hope you have a good night. So yeah, there's that, and I might do it with this one, where this one actually talks about butter leaves, which is another good method to kind of create a little wrap with. Then there's the grilled salmon. We have grilled salmon here with lemon, some other ingredients like maybe like some thyme if you want to put that in there, or rosemary. And this one I actually used for lunch, a roast beef melt. I actually just bought some sliced roast, some roast beef, and I got some cheese slices too. And instead of using white bread, I actually got whole wheat grain bread. It's called Dave's bread, I think it's called. And I'll toast the bread, and I'll microwave the meat with the cheese, and I have myself a little melt. Now I'm trying to not get away from mayonnaise. I used a little light mayo on it, but I'm trying to introduce more mustard into it because that's actually the healthier alternative. But with this right here, this gives me a really great protein, as my body's healing and needing energy to burn. So I'm using this to help me, get the food and the carbohydrates that I need. Then there's a mushroom soup. I haven't tried this one yet, but I definitely will be. And so I'm going to go, I've already put the URL into the description, so you can definitely take a look at that. The next thing I want to show you is part of the foods that I actually did create. I actually took a picture here. Let's see here. There it is. There we go. So we have here a protein shake that I actually put together. Now this is a mix of, on the top left jar there, we have flaxseed, and below that is like a vegan protein powder. To the right of that is hemp hearts, and right above it is chia seeds. I also have a banana, a full egg, and right next to the egg is maca powder. I also have cacao powder as well, and some other things too. Then I also have my coconut milk, which is unsweetened. agave to add some natural sweetener to it, and of course, pure collagen powder. And what collagen is all about, in case you don't know, is that it's supposed to actually help you with your skin. It's also supposed to help you with your bones and your hair and your nails. I'm also taking another supplement called liver. It's like a beef liver vitamins, and the beef liver is pretty much exactly what it is. It's liver turned into pills, because I hate liver. I'm sorry, it tastes like dog shit to me. My mom says, "Oh, they didn't cook it right for you." I'm like, "No, I just think they're dog shit." But and so it's crazy because I'm physically going to a detox, and also emotionally, it's been hard losing friends, losing people left to right, losing weight. My emotions have been up and down. Yeah, and see, that's the thing too. When you're losing weight and stuff like that, your hormones does go through an adjustment. So does your feelings and your emotions, and it can really make you depressed too while you're going through all that. So so yeah, so what I do in the morning, or at least now I'm actually introducing this instead of in the morning. What I'm doing is actually making this shake before I go to work out, because not only will it give me enough energy and, you know, and something to fill my stomach, because you're not. I've read that you're not supposed to go work out. You're supposed to work out with a little bit something in your stomach, like a small sandwich of some sort. So instead, I'm using this little protein shake that I put together. The egg gives me the protein and the calories that I need, and I start burning that as I start working out. And it's a really delicious shake too. And I just started adding strawberries to it, and it tastes even better with it too. Oh God, it tastes so good. And I'll maybe put like a dash of salt in it too. That way, it's not overly sweet. But I try to watch my salt intake as well. And here's one of the dinners that I actually made. This is actually a salmon. What I used was some olive oil, and I rubbed it with salt, pepper, garlic. Very, very simple. And I did the same thing with the asparagus. Underneath that is brown rice. So what I'll do is I'll bake this in the oven at, I believe I did it at 375 for about 25 minutes. And I just wait for the salmon to come to a temperature of like 150, 165. I believe that's the cooking temperature. And I probably put it just like a small slice of butter on top of the salmon to give it a creamy taste and a creamier texture. And this came out so good. Like the asparagus was perfect. I cooked the asparagus with the salmon, and I cooked the brown rice by itself in its own crock pot. So this came out to be very successful. It was super duper healthy. Before, I was actually just eating only salads with like some chicken in it, and I was reading that there's probably not enough protein. I need to actually introduce a healthier protein along with vegetables. So this meal actually took most of my stomach. I wasn't able to eat anything else after that, even though it was a small portion for me. But I'm going to have to try to reduce the portion of this one. That way I can introduce salads back into it. And my salads are very basic. I actually have full chicken breasts that are marinating in the freezer right now as we speak. And I'll have to just pull them out like a day earlier, put them in the air fryer, cook it, and then chop it up for my salads for the rest of the week. And then I'll be able to actually use it for my lunches, and maybe even partial dinners too. So, after, with all this said and done, here's the machine that I actually use for my workout. So this is the Bowflex that I actually purchased from Craigslist. Now, the story is, and I know I've explained this before, but I wanted to share pictures with this story, that I was going on Amazon, and, or actually before I actually went to Amazon, I was actually mentioning to my stepmother, and that I wanted to get into fitness and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh, like, good for you." And because we're actually started rekindling our relationship and started bonding. And she gifted me some money just, to show her appreciation and support for me. And though I respectfully tried to decline it because I didn't want to take, her money. I felt like I needed to do this on my own, but she, really insisted. And with what she was giving me, and I didn't want to be rude at that point. And therefore, I accepted it with love and positive feelings as well. And because of that, I was able to buy this. Now, this Bowflex, this is the Ultimate 2, which retails at the time, about 7 years ago, $4,500 plus. The people who bought this, at least the husband, the man's wife, purchased this machine and she went for top of the line because she doesn't like having to buy little extra pieces here and there along the line. She just want to get everything all in one blow. So she bought this machine for them 7 years ago, and he used it a little bit, but then afterwards he didn't use it and just kind of stayed in their garage, and they want to get rid of it. I bought it for $300, y'all. $300. Because everywhere on Amazon it was sold out. I was ready to drop $600+ on a new machine with not even half of these of the exercises that this thing can do. And this thing has a lot. It actually does not only does the arm, it has the top bar, but also has parts at the bottom for you to like reverse sit-ups or to row. And when it folds down, you actually have the leg attachments here. You could also do use it as an arm pull-up as well. So with the attachment that you see in the front, which pops right off, I can just sit on there and then put my leg onto the roller at the bottom, and then start doing working my thighs with it. So this is a very versatile machine. The bows in the very end, the rods, they bend to only give you resistance, but I noticed that they were kind of flexing in the direction that they're being used. So what I did is I rotated the clips, and I made them bend in the opposite direction. And not only is it straightening them up, but I'm actually feeling a lot more resistance at that point. And boy, do I feel it right now, because yesterday I did my arms, my shoulders, chest, my back, and my abdominals, plus my sides, and I'm feeling it. I'm totally feeling it, and it feels so good. So there's that, and I'm really grateful for this too. So I'm using it quite a bit. I'm not going to give up on it, and nor is it going to turn into a glorified coat hanger, because I really want to make this work. So that's what I've been doing on this, in conjunction with better diet. And then in addition to that, and here's me actually on the on the actual exercise machine. I was so happy about it, and it felt really good. I took a picture of myself. You probably don't see it, but I was sweating like crazy in that shirt, and I was listening to some like disco. I'm super old school when it comes to that, but yeah, I was feeling really good. This is the day I actually did my first exercise 2 days ago. I did the chest and arms, but it wasn't strong enough. And then yesterday I redid my chest and arms on a heavier weight, and it actually felt a lot better. And even my friend said, "Oh, wow, you don't look as tired as you used to." I'm like, "What the fuck?" No, but it's true though, because like I'm about to turn the camera back onto me here in a minute, but you'll see like I have like little bags under my eyes, stuff like that. I'm trying to get rid of, but I'm hoping with me not only just doing the healthy foods, the collagen, but the workout will slim my face down to where it might help my skin become a lot healthier, to where the bags in my eyes will not be as visible. But I mean, that just goes with age too, because I'm 40 years old, right? So, but I'm feeling good. I like this, and it kind of makes me feel good looking at this picture, because it's like I'm telling myself, like, you can do this. This is a really good motivator for me, that if you like the way you look now, just think about it, that by the end of the year you're probably going to have the body that you want, and you're going to be able to do whatever you want. You'll be able to go jogging, go hiking, and you're not going to feel tired, and you won't be sweating as much, or you'll be just so much in shape that you'll be sweating a good sweat, not just like a oh god, I'm so out of shape sweat kind of thing. So it's a very, very good motivator for me. I really that's why I kind of enjoyed this picture and wanted to share it with you. And last but not least, we have my little meditation room. Actually, it's like a meditation / yoga room. This is where actually Yvonne and I were doing our first cardio yoga. And right there over the right is a reverse teeter. And I actually do, like, I'll flip myself all the way upside down, and I'll actually do some reverse sit-ups with this one. And poof, boy, does it make you, it really feels the burn on that one, I tell you that for sure. But you'll also see there on the table to the left, that's my little meditation table. So I'll draw a card, I'll put it on the altar, and I'll burn some incense while I'm meditating. I'll look at the card, and I'll think about that card while I'm about to do my meditation. And then the screen on the right and the tripod, I'll put my phone there, and I'll video chat with Yvonne, where she's teaching me how to do yoga, I'll be able to watch her and she'll be able to watch me at the same time. So it's a really good experience, and we're really trying to fine tune some things because she also is going to be introducing yoga classes online, y'all. So if you were looking for a yoga teacher who's really well experienced, she has her degree in it, she knows everything about it, totally take a look at her channel, theindigomermaid.com, or yeah, theindigomermaid.com, or the Indigo Mermaid TV, which is in YouTube. Contact her about some questions that you have in regards to yoga, and she'll more than happy to help you set up an appointment with her, and she'll be able to help you get sweating. Because I'll tell you what, the thing, like just doing a few of them from myself, like we spent a good 45 minutes of the yoga, and boy was I was like, my shirt was drenched. I was feeling the burn. It felt good, and just more practice on that will actually get me, will really get me going. So yeah, show some support for Indigo Mermaid because she knows her shit, and it felt really good. Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when it comes to depression, yoga will definitely help you with depression at the same time too. So I really encourage that. So, that there, ladies and gentlemen, is my story and my update from day 8 to day 13. And you can, like, I think it was really good the fact that I actually covered it in this long period, and I think I might do it from that point forward. Well, I'll probably do like maybe a week after transition perhaps, but I really still want to do like one day at a time as well to kind of do like a check-in. But I could probably report right now that I do have some different thoughts, different ideas. I have a lot more motivation in myself. I know I'm doing well with the workout because I get the feeling that I've like sat in the sun. I get like a sunburn feel in a way after I do a workout, which is good, So I really think this is actually heading in the right direction. And if anybody's doing this too, or you're about to do this, like, do it with me. I encourage you. You don't have to wait till the beginning of the month. You can start now, and then we can totally share information, stories, stuff like that. I'll definitely invite you on where we can talk together on the next live stream. I would love to do a live stream with any of you who may be doing something, or even that. If you want to, call in, because I'll actually start introducing phone calls in my own personal live streams as well, as much as we do the the Groovy Mermaid channels or the collaboration streams. But I'll be able to have anybody call in to share some pointers, or even that some experience that they have when it comes to this adventure. And it's meaning a lot to me. I feel that it is, it's definitely changing my life for the better. And you know what? I'm gonna pull a card on this one for all of you right now, just to kind of see what it says. It might be a negative card, might be a good card. We'll just see what it says. Because since we're gonna be doing some free 3-card spreads for all of y'all, I think it's a good way to start. What do you have to say for me? This is the 8 of Swords in reverse. The 8 of Swords is it's like the woman who's trapped on a beach, with all the swords kind of like pinning her down and stuff like that. And with the 8 of Swords, I think it's actually telling me that I'm kind of breaking from my chains a little bit in terms of what's weighing me down, like stress, of depression, or even just my body weight and stuff like that, not being healthy, especially being not healthy too, because that really affects me the most. Because if I don't take care of myself now that I'm 40, moving on to the next few years, this is probably going to be like the kicker that determines how I'm going to live my life the rest of my life, that is. I've seen pictures on like Google, where there was a 70-year-old man who was freaking ripped, and he looked gorgeous. Like, he was so hot, so cute, and I was like, that can be me. That could be me. And I know that could be me. So, I think I can do it. but it's not just about looking hot and gorgeous at 70. I just want to feel fucking good. I still want to be able to ride roller coasters and stuff like that, and be able to go dancing and stuff like that. I can do it. Oh, you're gonna be 40 next year? It's good. You know, if you think about it, four is a very stable number. If you think about it, it's number four, because there's four walls to a building, right? In order to make a structure stand still and stand firm. Their structure, their stability. It's also the Emperor card too, which is number four. So it's a good thing. All right. So that concludes my follow up for the 30-day love challenge, days 8 through 13. And so, as promised, I'm going to stay on here a little bit longer, probably like another 30 minutes or so, and I'm going to do some free 3-card tarot spreads right now. So, if you give me a minute, I'm going to reset my camera, and then we're going to get started with this. So if you guys want to have your question, get it ready for me. And if you really want a full reading, I'm not going to be doing any full readings right now, but if you really insist that you need a full reading, I will ask for a $5 donation if you want to do a full reading. Okay, but for now it's gonna be free 3-card tarots because I don't want to stay up too late. But if you really want to do this, actually, better yet, I'm sorry to do this, but I'm gonna make it $10 because I really want this. The time is important right now. Energy is really important too, and if you really need this this reading, for those of you who just joined, a full reading on your question is $10. Otherwise, I do have a free 3-card tarot reading for you guys. Maybe with a couple cards for clarifier, but mainly 3. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and reset my camera here, and we'll return shortly in probably the next minute or two. Autofocus. There we go. Whew. All right, so I'm going to be picking a little bit randomly here. So oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. All right. All right. So, um, I'm going to go ahead and actually start a little bit on with who kind of started here first. Heath left, but next I have is Inspired Butterfly. After that is Cat. After Cat is Queen, and then Scarlet. So, Miss Butterfly, if you have a question for me for your 3 card spread, let me know. And pay no attention to that list there. Um, and change that here. All right, so I have 4 people on this list now. So, Kat, I'll definitely get to your question. First, I'm going down the people who just who came in here in the order they came into the room. So we'll start with Butterfly. Inspired Butterfly, if you want a question for the 3 card spread, I'll be more than happy to start with you right now. My twin, such passion, does he feel as much as I, or is it just the passion? So you want to know if he feels love for you, or if it's just like a physical passion kind of thing. Is that what you're saying? Okay. And oh, he's younger. Mm-hmm. And remind me your first name and your sign, and your twins' name and sign as well. Not today. We're the collaboration actually occurs on Tuesdays and Fridays. So on the off days it'll just be me. Christina, Capricorn, Shafite, or Shafite. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's either Shafayet or Shafit. Please tell me, because I think I'm butchering the name here, unfortunately. So, Pisces and Capricorn. It's funny because my partner was Pisces and I was Capricorn too. All right. Um, I'm getting the sense that he's kind of more on the passion side. He does have like some feelings for you, but I feel like that he has a little bit more distance to go with you in terms of this relationship. Um, yeah, I'm totally slaughtering that name. Um, Six of Wands with the Four of Wands and stuff like that. So I'm seeing more passion than I am seriousness. I feel that um, I think it's kind of boiling down to the actions that he's done. It's almost as if he's kind of drifting in a way, like he's just kind of coasting on automatic mode. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. I feel that also he's sort of pulling like the almost like the bare minimum, but he's definitely pulling like the prerequisites, right? In terms of what he is doing with you, but I really don't see like him actually going like putting like going all in on the bet and taking a chance with being taking the relationship on a next level, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing with this with him, especially being a Pisces. I'm getting a lot of like fire signs here, which is really interesting. He could be a Pisces, maybe a Leo rising, perhaps, which is really interesting. He could be in parallel with as a fire sign too, to where he's probably very active and probably being a little bit ambitious in terms of goals, perhaps. Um, and here's the Indigo Mermaid. She's here. I thought she logged off, but yeah, she's here. Um, he came back to me to let me know he doesn't want to lose me. Um, I kind of half believe that. I think that I think he just doesn't like the separation. Um, I definitely see him putting in the bare minimum though. In terms of the relationship, he's going to have to pitch in a lot more than what he has been doing if he doesn't want to lose you. Um, it's not about the things that, like the money. Like you don't care about the money. I think you're more in terms of the intimacy, and he hasn't been providing on that level of the intimacy. So that's kind of what I'm getting with this. Because the reason why I'm saying this too, because we have the Knight and the Emperor in reverse, but we're having all these other reversals here too, and like I said, we have a couple of Pentacles here, but we also have these fire signs, and I feel like that he's kind of like, um, he's kind of reactive. He's very reactive to a situation instead of being proactive in terms of nurturing a relationship. So that's kind of what I'm getting with this. Let me get like a clarifier here. Um, I think he has some plans perhaps with you, um, but he has some opening up to do with you too. I feel like that he hasn't been really completely honest with about his life with you and stuff like that. And I think if he was, then I don't think you guys would be having like these kind of these little issues going on. I've been getting the Knight of Wands a lot. Yeah. So well, this one is the Knight of Pentacles that I've been getting, that I got for you. But with the Knight of Pentacles and with the Knight of Wands that you're getting, it's like a um, physical and fire type relationship that I'm probably getting with what you're seeing, right? So, um, if it was more passionate, it would be like more Knight of Cups, right? If it was really more like on the intimate part, that's kind of what I'm getting with this. So, in short, I think it's more on he's just more on the physical level. I think it can go a little bit more than that in terms of um him being like a real man, right? Like in terms of actually stepping up. So, because I think he's missing the intimacy. Like maybe it's because he's not used to being intimate. Like when I'm talking about intimate, I'm just talking about like, you know, it's kind of funny because I actually was talking about this to to Yvonne, like how it's not about the sex, but it's about the fact of like how a man just kind of holds my neck and he kisses me on my neck with that 5 o'clock shadow, like those kind of things, like the things that actually matters, that shows love, that shows the body contact, that's doesn't have to be all about sex, but it's just even a touch of a hand. Like these are the things that that is kind of missing, I feel. So he has a little bit of learning to do in terms of how he wants to communicate with you. Um, and I think you should probably be just a little bit honest with him, but kind of play a little hard to get at the same time too. So, and if you enjoy having sex with him and you just want to do that for the sex, then there's nothing wrong with that. But he needs to understand that he's going to come back to you just for like, he's going to have to get he needs to get a little bit more busier in terms of wanting to be with you. If he doesn't want to lose you, that he needs to kind of put full time work and not just do the part time. So I hope that made sense. All right. So next we have Cat. Cat within Create. Remind me what your sign is, and you said you wanted to. Oh yeah, so So if you're going through the divorce and you're with this, and yeah, that can totally that can totally make things a lot different too. So definitely take your time and just have fun. So you're very welcome. Okay, Miss Cat, your turn. Oh, well, thank you very much, Candace. I'll be giving you a full read. Yes. As a matter of fact, with you paying the donation, I will go ahead and put you into priority. You're next. So go ahead and let me know what question you have, and also remind me your sign as well. And while you're doing that, Candy, I'm gonna go ahead and read Cat's. So she's a Virgo, and Cat within Create, you wanted to know about your depression. So I feel like you're missing some. So there's a little bit of passion that's being drained from you. I think something is kind of like you're having this imbalance here, and you're kind of going backwards on this too. I think that maybe you might have been kind of moving away from somebody in particular that you really admired, and with the actions that you've taken recently, probably made you feel a little bit imbalanced on this. I've been crying all day, and I just wanted to feel happy and at peace. Yeah, so I think you're just going through a lot of changes right now. And the thing is, I mean, maybe it could be because there's things that's changing in your life right now, for the better. I'm seeing here um, that you're probably getting rid of like the excess fat on the steak, and you're actually trying to, um, like go with a more the lean meat, right? Because of this change, you're not used to it, right? And you feel like you're probably going backwards here. And I think also because somebody that you might have been talking to probably hasn't been coming to you more often. You've been used to this person coming around. It might have been like a best friend of some sort, like a woman. I'm actually seeing like a woman that you used to hang out with a lot, and you felt that you're probably good friends. But then this friend hasn't been coming around a lot lately. So again, you have that sense of feeling going backwards a little bit, and it's just throwing you in this different phase. So right now, this depression, cry it out. Okay, I know you just want to be happy, but you need to actually let this cry out happen. Because the problem is if you continue wanting to force happiness onto yourself, it's just going to come back to you. Okay, and not only is it going to come back to you, but you're going, you close it up, and it's going to come back to you 10 times, and then you're going to really feel like shit. I stopped being friends where my best friends that I had for years were not friends anymore. Yeah, see, and I think that's what it is too. Like, it probably hasn't phased you until now, and right now you probably don't even feel it. Like, I don't think it's my friend because that's not what I'm feeling. But it's because of these connections that your body and your mind and your soul is used to. That now that these changes are happening within your universe, you're getting this imbalance with yourself, and you feel like that it's kind of going a step backwards to where you have nothing. Okay, so I'm seeing here that you need to let the cry out happen. Okay, cry, and then tomorrow, what you want to do. Tomorrow, what you want to do is definitely don't want to hold back either tomorrow either. You might actually start feeling this tomorrow as well. Give it a couple of days. Now, obviously, some meditation, some different types of food will actually kind of help you alleviate some of the pain and to kind of help you go through this, okay? But don't deny the pain because you've been holding this back for a long time. I feel that you've been holding this back for a long time and you've been putting on the back burner. You need to not hold on to it. You need to let it go. I'm sorry. I wish I had a little bit more information for you on that, but right now, just let the cry session happen. Okay. Best of luck to you on that one, and by all means, contact me, tarot@groovedefy.com, or better yet, tarot@thegroovymermaids.com, and feel free to schedule a time with me, or you can also wait till Friday Day comes around, or both Yvonne and I will be online. Okay, Candy, if you have your question ready for me, because you are a. Oh, you didn't even say your sign yet. Okay, I'm Aquarius. Got an email for a job offer, but pay is a little less. But I see possible longevity and growth and flexibility with the school. What do you see? I see a job, girl. I'm just kidding. I see my bills getting paid. That's what I see. Let's see here. It's like, ooh, girl, I'm going to go get my job. I'm going to go get pampered. I'm going to go buy them diamonds. And all of a sudden when they tell you that offer, you're like, I guess it's back to top ramen and ice for me. I'm just kidding. You hate your current job. And that's probably why you're wanting to get a new job. A job offer, yeah. Yeah, if you're on a college student diet, usually it's a bowl of ice, water and ice. That's your diet. Either that or it's top ramen. God, when my dad was still alive, he told me this thing he learned because he had a DUI once. He had to go to jail, and they taught him how to create what's called a top ramen burrito. Not only did it look gross and taste gross, but it actually kind of helped fill him up. It was actually a warm meal, but they couldn't cook anything in the jail. So what they had to do is that he crunched up the noodles, opened the bag up, put hot water into it, right? And then let it sit there for a while with the seasoning inside the package, stir it up. And then once the once the noodles got softened, then you would use the package and you roll it up into like a burrito. It squeezes out all the water, and then wait there for like another minute or two, and then it kind of gets a little, a little bit firmer. You unpackage it, and you got like this disgusting little top ramen burrito. I used to eat this when I was back in like maybe junior high because I thought it was really good at the time. But then like as I tried it like maybe 10 years ago, I was like, oh God, this is disgusting. How did I manage to live? All right, so. Oh, but my dad, he had to figure out some things. And he was a good guy, not like he went to jail all the time. It's just that he had to learn how to, how to deal with things, try to turn lemons into lemonade. Uh, he used to come to me. He's like, Anthony, doesn't this taste good? I'm like, oh, it's actually not that bad, you know. And I used to eat it because I didn't have much to eat at school either. But like now that I've tasted like better quality foods, steaks and chicken and the way how I cook and stuff like that. If I tasted that thing, I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. I don't want to give it a name because I don't want to be talking down on other people who may not be able to afford food. But it's like, holy crap, it was really terrible. Okay, so what do I see in regards to this? So you said I'm Aquarius, got an email for a job offer, but pays a little less. But I see possible longevity and growth and flexibility with school. What do you see? Yeah, being poor definitely humbled me too, and I try not to take it for granted, although I am paying it now because at the time when I was with my partner, we weren't making a whole lot of money, so I actually had to withhold taxes, unfortunately, and now I'm paying the price. Me. Okay, so now just to kind of clarify, you mentioned growth and flexibility with school, so I'm assuming that you're going to be working and going to school. Is that what you're saying? Okay, that makes sense. Well, I definitely do see some really good things here. So there's a couple of things. There's actually a flip side to this coin here. There's actually some goods and some bads here. Um, oh, school started last week of May. That's good. Um, you are going to be doing a lot of juggling on your scheduling. Okay. Now, um, there's also going to be a lot of resources moving around. I think you're going to be with this job right now because it's so big. I think you're going to be dealing with a lot of managers. Um, you're going to be dealing with leads, supervisors, and managers, and there's going to be like more than one for the team and stuff like that. And it's not like you have to report to all of them. It's just like it's you might have that sense that it might be too many Indians or no, too many chiefs and not enough Indians kind of thing. Um, I'm not exactly sure what this job. Ooh, excuse me. Um, I'm not exactly sure what this job is entailed, but I do feel that you're going to be doing a lot more responsibilities with this new job if you were to accept it. Um, do you have some people who kind of don't like the fact that you're thank you, butterfly. I feel like that you may have some people that kind of angry with you moving forward, perhaps. I want to say angry. They're just kind of disappointed that you're probably or not leaving, but because you haven't even accepted the offer yet. What I'm getting at is that I feel like that there's going to be people who are going to be disappointed or maybe even envious to the point where they are upset if you were to leave, right? Because I think they kind of value themselves more than you for some reason. Now, if you, I see that they were kind of friends with you in one point, or they had a good working relationship with you, but then, even that was spotty, and you kind of had to kind of be on your own a little bit. But with this here, taking on this job, you're going to feel the pressure, not only with school but also with the job. Okay, so be prepared to kind of deal with stress a little bit more. It might make you a little bit more tired, I think. Hence this Nine of Swords that I have here. But I'm pretty sure you can probably adjust it in a way, but just be prepared for that to come to you. Um, I feel like the lead that you'll have will probably be a female. The manager's a male, and you might be put with like maybe a team of maybe, I don't know, just a little over 5 people perhaps. Um, I think there might be one person who might be very competitive. Um, in terms of like numbers and trying to get things done. Even though it's not really competitive type work, like it's supposed to be working as teams, but this person is kind of gamifying the experience, I think. Um, I feel that the manager is actually very supportive. He actually likes to talk a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Even the lead that you'll actually be working with, she actually doesn't talk a whole lot and stuff like that, and she might be a little hard to read a little bit. And that's what the team that you'll be working with. Give me some information in terms of like growth, career wise, career growth. Will there be a raise in 2021? Yeah, there actually might be a raise coming to you. I think that's actually probably one of the offers. Maybe they actually do give raises annually and stuff like that, but I think you'll have more of a significant bonus, not just a raise, but maybe like an additive to it, somewhere around 2021. I'll probably say towards the later half of 2021. Um, I get the sense that there will be a point where you might pick up the slack on somebody's work, because maybe either they left or something like that. Because I sense that they just weren't with the team for a while, so you picked it up, you managed to finish it, and you actually did it with flying colors. Because I think you're actually a very detailed person. Um, you kind of find it annoying that people don't take responsibility, because you're all about dependability. Um, but I think after about maybe 6 months into this, you actually might be like like one of the most efficient workers there, and at that point, um, I'm getting the sense that um, you might actually learn a new trade skill, something that you might be able to take on with you to like a whole new job, especially because I got the King of Cups here, and with this right here, this is kind of telling me that you know uh, things that you thought you knew, you could probably throw that out the window at this point, because you're going to learn something new and you're going to learn something more efficient in terms of workflow and stuff like that. And you'll be able to actually, not want to say throw out all your experience, but like you'll be able to append your experience with what you've learned, and therefore making your value a lot higher. I think they're going to cater to your needs too. Like at one point, you're probably going to be like, this is um, will finances will be okay taking a small cut? That's a good question. So I'll put this one aside. I'll pull out some new cards here in terms of finances. Let's see here. But looking at this right here, I feel like that there's going to be some really good connections with you. I think you're going to be very compatible with everybody there. So that's a good thing. And as far as finances go, give me some information about her finances. Taking on this job. Will she be okay? Well, I'm getting some stress. There will be some things you're going to be cutting. Um, you might be having to giving up some few things, or even that, not just giving up a few things, but maybe dialing back some things to like a more basic level of stuff. Like for example, I may have like the Hulu Premium and TV at $60, where I'll need to dial it back just to regular Hulu for $10, right? Like you're gonna have to start dialing back some services here because the pay cut should be okay, but I do see some struggle here. Um, I do see some struggle. You might get some help. Do you have kids, Candace? I don't even know if you have kids, because I got a Six of Cups here, and I feel that the kids you have, and I'm taking it, you maybe also you have one child, and you are a single mom, part time. Yes. So, um, and is this kid like more than 10 years old? I feel between 13 and 10, which kind of narrows it down to between 10, 11, 12. Um, but I just think around the age of 10, that's where he's kind of around. Am I right or wrong about that? 11 years old this year. Okay, perfect. So, um, I feel that he's a very smart boy. I'm assuming he's a boy, actually. I feel like it's a boy. That's my first instinct on this. So, um, he's a very smart boy, and I think he's oh, she's great. Okay, so it's a girl. Um, she's very smart. I feel that the child is very smart. I think that she's going to, probably understand some sacrifices that you actually might be having to go through. Um, I get a sense that she's actually kind of grown up for her age a little bit. Like because the fact that you're a single mom, you kind of taught her some independence. But because of that independence, she actually kind of maybe matured more than most of her other counterparts, like her other friends and stuff like that. She still acts like a kid, but I think that because of what you're going to be going through and the stuff that you're going to be dialing back on, she'll actually start taking on some responsibility a little bit to where she can kind of take care of herself a little bit more than she used to. Um, I do see maybe a fight, not a fight, but maybe a little argument here and there on a few things. Maybe she wants certain things and stuff like that. You tell her no, and she's gonna get a little upset by that. But still, I still feel that with this Six of Cups here, that I think that there's gonna be some help from her, and she'll definitely understand this. And there's times, I mean, you guys are like really good friends, I feel, but then there's times where you guys do kind of bunt heads, and you just kind of be like, okay, please go to your room. I really don't. I just want you to be like away. There's gonna be like one of those moments gonna be coming. On that, if you're to take this job and you're taking these finance dips, stuff like that, she will get a little bit frustrated on a few things. I think she like wants to probably get into, I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind was like a club, like a sports or something like that. Like she might want to go do this, and you might have to hold off to like the next year, perhaps. And she's like, "Why, mom?" And you kind of explain it to her, and she might throw a fit about it, but then um, she'll eventually come around and be like, "Okay, I get it. It's okay." And then she'll go ahead and take that you know that sacrifice to where she can wait until you are able to actually support her in what she wants to do. Because I feel like she likes sports. I don't know. I mean, I could say I could. I was just about to say something with balls, but like, oh my god, like almost every fucking sport is with a ball. Um, but if I was really to like, look at something here, like she has maybe interest maybe in some tennis or even soccer perhaps. She's a gamer, like a video gamer, or she likes sports gamer. Yes, to which one? Video games. Roblox. I've heard of that. I only have heard of it, that I just don't know what it is. Well, maybe so. Taking this concept of her wanting to get into some type of sport, like if she's more into video games and stuff like that, then maybe it's like, maybe she wants to get like a new game or upgrade, or maybe, because some of these games have little microtransactions, stuff like that, and she probably wants that, or even that. Um, Again, spinning off the idea of wanting to go into sports, if it's one games, maybe it's like a game service. Like there's probably like a $20 or $10 a month kind of game, and she could play it. But the thing is, she won't have the interconnectivity to play with friends. She'll just have to play by herself for a little bit, or even that go with the free services. Um, I'm assuming that's probably like a Xbox or something like, or better, not actually like an Xbox, maybe like a PS4 perhaps. Um, Good night, butterfly. But regardless of what the system is, though, um, like whatever the upgrades is in the game, stuff like that, you're gonna come across it to where you're like, okay, we are not gonna pay for that right now. It's not essential. The only thing essential right now is food in your fucking stomach and you having a warm house. So get your ass into gear, get some sleep, and be appreciative of your mother right now. Damn it, I'm just kidding. But you guys are gonna fight about a little bit. She'll probably complain, but she'll understand in the end, and she'll just be like, okay, whatever. I'll just wait till the end of the year, till Christmas. Let's see here. A little bit more info about the finances here. A little bit more info about the finances. Let me actually ask this other question here. With work, school, and having to deal with finances, will you be able to have a really decent social life? Because I know love is actually not really on your chart right now, but um, it's good to kind of know if it's going to be coming into that area. I'm not sure if you have a boyfriend or not either, but um, let's take a look at your social life. Interesting. So, I feel that you will actually have a really good social life. Um, I feel that I actually want to kind of say Prince Charming a little bit, but it's not going to be like that from the first get go. Because I do see like a connection of some sort. Um, you'll be meeting somebody, and I think it might be at work, right, at the new job, if you're to take it. And again, this question actually applies to if you the scenario if you take the job. Okay, so I feel that you might bump into him, and you guys it kind of starts from there, and I think it's actually going to be kind of a really really interesting spark. Though, even though it might be a spark, and you guys will click and stuff like that, romance and relationship will definitely not be on the mind just yet between the both of you, especially for you because you're more concerned about getting your shit done. You're like, oh, I can wait for dick later on. It's okay. I don't need dick right now. It's okay. I'm just kidding. But I do see sort of like a guy like almost like the word keeps coming to my mind, knight in shining armor kind of thing. So and I think you are actually going to be the knight in shining armor for him, which is actually kind of funny because um, if you were to look for a guy, and you're kind of keeping the options open here, if you were to look for a guy, oh, look at this. Actually, that's really interesting. I actually have two cards that actually came together. And if you weren't aware, these cards, if you actually put them in order like this, they actually form a picture. So, I'm not sure if this really means anything, and I'm trying to search it right now. I think that their daughter might not like this guy at first. And I don't even think you're going to be meeting him like this year either. I think it's going to be like next year. But if you were to meet somebody and all of a sudden something starts to kind of build on it, I think there might be just a, I wouldn't say jealousy or anything, but it's just like I think she's gonna have a tough time, like really mingling, because I think sometimes she kind of gets a little bit anxious when it comes to meeting new people. Sometimes, especially adults. And I'm saying this because we have the Six of Cups and the Five of Cups here, and the Five of Cups came out for the person about like your social life, and I think the daughter would probably want to spend more time with you. I don't know. There's a little bit of jealousy. I'm probably feeling a little bit, perhaps, just a little bit, just a little gel. But I just don't think. I think she'll have a little, tough time, mingling with some of your friends, and I think you kind of want her to be friends with some of your friends too, because that kind of helps build a strengthened bond between you and her, because I almost kind of feel it as if like if you and your daughter were able to become friends with the same people, it turns into like a giant family. And I think that's kind of what you kind of hope. But even though she's kind of young, and though she's pretty smart for her age and mature, she can still actually have carry a really decent conversation with adults. But she does get a little anxious because I sense like maybe shyness and stuff like that. But you really like for her, or you not like for her, but it would be plus points in your book if she's able to be compatible with some of your friends, just as much as you're compatible with her friends. But that way, when you have people over or you're going to go see people, she trusts that you're going to be fine, and that she's able to have a good time with you and your friends if they happen to come over and you're entertaining them and stuff like that. So, but this person here, this guy, I think she might be just a little bit intimidated, perhaps, maybe just a little anxious and stuff. That's why I'm getting the Five of Cups here, and along with the Six of Cups. So, yeah, that's actually the first time I actually had that happen to me, and I wonder if that's actually what the sign is. But that's what I'm getting on my feelings here. So that's really interesting. Um, so social life, I think, is going to be good. You run into something, um, and let's see here. How about school? Let's look into your school as well. Oh, I think you do fine in school. You're obviously going to be working really hard on it, and I think you're going to learn a lot too. You're going to do just fine. I just think that right now, with you in school, there's obviously some balancing going on, but you're not really making a whole lot of friends there. Like there's some acquaintances, more acquaintances than just friendships. Actually, it's just like kind of like teaming up with people. That way you can get homework in case you need it, and you're just making sure that you're not burning any bridges. But really, you're not really there to make any friends. And that's kind of what I feel about that. But then with school, I think you're gonna be just fine. Um, you're pretty well organized, I think. Um, and regardless of like your energy level and stuff like that, I think you managed to put 110% into it, as well as your job and stuff like that. And that's why I was mentioning earlier, at the very beginning, that you're going to feel tired because it's like a lot of new stuff and procedures you have to go with. Because with your current job, you kind of have like you already know how to do things, like it's like written on the back of your hand, right? Like you already know how to do the job. So here you have like if you're to take this job, you're going to be kind of getting into new procedures, new things you have to think about, and maybe even new schedules. So these are things you have to balance out, but you don't have to worry about dissing any friends there, because I think you have more acquaintances there than friends. um, and some of them are nice. You talk to some of them like that, but they're really not. You really don't find them as friends right now, because you're really more interested in just graduating. And then once you graduate, then you can go ahead and mix with those friends, right? Um, so I think I covered all those bases here, like your finances, your personal life, your daughter, work, and finances. So, um, I think that's the outlook here that I'm getting. Hi, Shakari. That's the kind of outlook that I'm getting here with this reading. So I hope that helped you out, Candice. And thank you again for the donation. I really appreciate that. Okay, so you're very, very welcome. It was nice actually to do this stream again. I haven't done any like personal live streams like this instead of the collaborations lately, and I know a lot of people's been waiting for me to come back, and it's definitely been a lot of fun doing this again. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it to just the 3 card spreads at this moment because it is getting late for me, and I have to wake up early in the morning tomorrow to start my day and make my breakfast. And I promise I'll make a video of me making the breakfast so you guys can get a benefit of that. If only I can do a live stream from my phone, that'd be a lot easier. All right, so next on the list we have here is Queen and Scarlet and then Chakri. So Queen and Scarlet, if you are here, let me know your questions and your sign. Chakri, if you want to go ahead and give me your question as well and your sign. Okay, Queen. And what is your name as well, Queen? What does life have in store for me for the next few days? And you're a Cancer. And don't forget to give me your names too. Pooja. Okay, thank you, Pooja. Okay. I feel like that you feel personally that something big is actually going to be coming. I feel that you're kind of treading some thin ice, or that you believe you are, but you really actually don't. I feel that the next few days is actually going to be kind of regular for you. Um, Yeah, I see. I'm not seeing a whole lot of changes within this next few days. Maybe we can just get like maybe look maybe to the next week perhaps. Oh wow, this is really interesting. This happened again, and this doesn't happen again often. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. I always pick the cards randomly. In here, I always do this. Now stop and pick the card, and then I got this. These 2 cards go together. We have 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, and I was asking in terms of um, like maybe looking out into the next week or so. Um, I don't see a whole lot of change, um, but I do feel that a task is going to come across to you, and I think it's going to be. Well, the first thing that came to my mind is a work-related task. I'm not sure if you're employed still or not, but I feel that it's like a 1, 2, 3 process. Like maybe like now looking at this, I feel that even though that the next few days are going to be very regular, I think something along the lines of. Well, the first thing that actually came to my mind, you actually might be dealing with somebody else's issue. I feel that maybe you, I think like a friend of yours might be going through some issues perhaps, and I think that she's gonna kind of open up, and you might read it like maybe somewhere like on a text message to you, or maybe a social media. I feel more strongly on social media that she's gonna mention something and catch your attention. So I think that might actually occur to you maybe coming along next week, I think. Um, I could be definitely wrong about that, but I do feel something in terms of dealing with something with your friend. But as far as this next few days, I still think that you'll have you doing it. I actually do believe that you might have been to do. Man, I don't know why it's so difficult for me to think about this right now. Um, And I think the reason why I'm having difficulties with thinking about this because I don't think anything's probably going to happen. Because look at this, we have this row right here, the Magician, the Justice, and the Two of Pentacles all in reverse. And I really think it's just going to be a very normal day. There's nothing really activity or action based things that's going to be happening here. I do feel that you're going to be dealing with something with maybe your friends, if not friends, then a family member. Um, Maybe coming around next week. I think you might learn something to where you might have to talk to them, you might get a little bit involved, nothing too drastic and stuff like that, I feel, but still just prepare yourself if that comes around. Okay. I'm not sure if your friends are going through tough times right now. Maybe it might be relationship wise, but you might get a little bit involved with that. Okay. um, Ooh, two cards just came out for you. um, I feel that you kind of got a little bit built up anxiety. Um, like your feelings are kind of getting a little overwhelmed recently, but you can relax. It's really actually not a big deal of what you're feeling. I think right now you're just kind of like built up emotion right now. You need to kind of express it, and your outlets are kind of very limited at this moment. You can relax. It's okay. Okay. I feel that you're kind of preparing for the worst and stuff like that. And regardless with me telling you that you're going to be dealing with like a friend and stuff like that, I think you feel like you've been kind of maybe preparing for something that's coming onto you when really there's actually not a whole lot for you to prepare for. Um, uh, it's just you kind of maybe feeling that you're not doing anything um, uh, drastic enough to where you feel that shit's bottling up and it's about to explode. You can relax. It's okay. So right now, the next few days are going to be very calm for you. It's pretty much going to be day in, day out for this next few days. Moving into the next week, I think that's when you're going to probably learn something about maybe most likely a friend, probably in regards to like a relationship of some sort, and you might talk to them about it. Um, but yeah, that's what I got for you on this one. Okay. Um, so let's see here. Next we have is Scarlet and then Shakri. Um, Scarlet says, "Does my recent ex want me back?" And you're a Scorpio, and he's a Cancer. And by all means, Queen, if let me know if anything does come up. Email me, tarot@groovedefy.com. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, love to hear from you, especially if you want to tell me like, Anthony, you're wrong. I could totally take it. Don't worry. I could totally take if I'm wrong on certain things. And that's what the whole thing, with tarot is too, because sometimes the future changes, based on what you know now, right? You take this information now, and then depending on how you act upon it or don't act upon it, that's what changes the futures. So, does my recent ex want me back? Because I want you back. Da-na-na-na. Hard to say I'm sorry. I need to know. You're all I'd ever wanted. You're all I ever needed. Yeah. So tell me what to do now. 'Cause I want you back. Da-na-na-na. Okay. Okay, Scarlett Johansson O'Hara. Does your recent ex want you back? Signs are kind of pointing to maybe yes. I have two evens and one odd here. The thing is, I feel that he does kind of want to reconcile. And maybe because he kind of misses you physically a little bit. That's kind of the sense I'm getting from this right now. Um, for some reason, I feel like that he kind of messed up with you a little bit, and he's kind of like walking a little bit on eggshells with you because we have this right here. This guy's kind of like jumping from one boulder to the other and stuff like that. And then we have the Nine of Wands here, so he's kind of playing his cards as quietly as possible, and generously as possible as well with you. Um, However, though, I feel that his true intentions is he kind of misses you. Um, and you're more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I feel that you know the breakup happened, and now and then I think I feel like that he left you, right, because he gave you some purpose of some sort, but now that no, he found out that the grass is not greener on the other side, so he kind of wants you to come, or he kind of wants to come back, but he's trying to figure out how he can do that without making it look like that he wants to. I think he's going to try to do this passive aggressively to um where he's going to try to make it your idea. He's going to try to convince you to tell him to come back in a way. We are long distance things, so maybe he misses seeing me. We used to be almost neighbors, and I moved. Are you talking about Ben Kenobi, Yvonne? But yeah, Scarlet. I did get the two even cards here, with this death card in reverse. So I do feel some type of new connection happening here, but I feel that it's like he just kind of misses your he just kind of misses you being there, kind of thing. Like he kind of misses you in general, but not really so much so that he wants to get it back into the relationship. Maybe it might turn into something a little more physical, perhaps. Um, but I get here that he might say some things, but he's going to try to convince you in a way that you want to take him back, that you want to get back into this relationship and stuff like that. So I feel that he knows how to play those games a little bit with your head, to where he's like, oh, so this is what you said, this is what you said, and you'd be like, well, I do kind of want you back. It's like, yeah, exactly. See, I told you that's what you want, but that's really what he wants, right? So he knows how to plant those seeds within you. So don't take his shit. And you know what? I'll ask one more question to that. Should you get back together with him? I got 2 odds and 1 even. I feel like that you can actually live a happier life without him. Mm, mm, mm. So, Scarlett O'Hara Johansson, I hope that worked out for you. Okay, Shakri. What is your name, your sign, and your question? Holy cow, I'm going on over 2 hours now. Oof. By the way, Yvonne, have you noticed any type of audio dipping? Like the audio gets cut out for anything? Like, during our collaborations and shit? That's weird, because last time they were saying that the audio collaboration would cause the skipping, and I wonder if it's the audio driver now. You know what I'm going to do? Well, actually, I'm on the audio driver now. I'm on the multi-output. I wonder if it's because of Messenger. I wonder if it's because of Messenger. I'm not 100% sure. You know what? On our next stream, Yvonne, we're gonna have you dial in through Zoom. I'll be able to. I should be able to help you get into the collaboration using Zoom. And so maybe it's Messenger that's causing the problems, not the driver or the audio card. So that's something for us to test on Frimas Day. Okay, Shakri, Shakri. You are Leo, and may I have details on my next girlfriend? Your girlfriend's gonna be hot. You're gonna be hot. You're gonna get married. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Well, I could definitely tell you that the girlfriend will definitely be a girl because the high priestess. Just kidding. Um, I'm getting a sense that this could be a air sign with a fire sign rising. Look at that. Air sign, fire sign rising. Um, I really do feel that this person is going to be drama free. It's funny. I have 2 swords in reverse and 2 wands in reverse. Holy cow. And look at this. These two actually go together. That's the 3rd time this actually happened. You are the 3rd one that's actually happened here. So I think that I'm trying to see if this really means anything here, but okay. So I feel that this person is actually gonna be very very beautiful. I have like some sort of physical inclination. Um, I'm not sure if I said that right, but like there's something about her that just kind of drives you wild for some reason. I feel that you like women with long hair, especially like wavy curly hair, because I think you like that for some reason. And I think she's gonna have like that kind of hairstyle that you might like, that you appreciate. And you also like, I think you like to pay attention to the eyes as well. Yes, she is beautiful, or I'm not sure if this is someone new. Well, you asked me what your next girlfriend would be, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm not sure if you wanted to ask this for a current somebody that you know of, but I feel that this is going to be like this. The question I asked was like in terms of a new girlfriend, but I don't see anything here in terms of someone that you already know. Okay. However, though, um, or actually, you know what? I'll take that back. It actually might be somebody you do know because the fact that we have these 2 cards here, that's the intriguing thing for me, because I think this person might come back into your life. I'm not exactly sure who she is or when it'll actually happen, but I think she's gonna have like some sort of makeover to where you're just gonna kind of see her like what, like I never thought of you to look like this before. Like you look super fucking hot right now. I mean that's a possibility of what I'm seeing here in these 2 cards, being together. Um, that makes sense. And I think the 2 of you will probably, connect in some way. Like that's why these 2 cards are together here. Um, but I'm not exactly sure what sign she is. She could be an air sign with fire rising or fire sign with air rising. It's one of those two. But I still think it's air sign. Um, and if I was to pick one, I would say that she's like an Aquarius. I think she'd be an Aquarius. If I was to choose one. And we have the 5 of Cups here. So, um, I don't think she notices you as much as you notice her. And I think if you were to actually, talk to her, she actually just might be open to a possible relationship with you or like, going out with you and stuff like that. Um, I'll ask a question right now. Should you ask this girl out this year? or better yet, should you ask her out this next month for June? That would be a no. Should you ask her out in 6 months from now? That's a definite no. Should you ask her out next year? Answer is yes. Got the 10. I got two evens, one odd here. I don't think that she's gonna really understand it. I don't think she's really much of a person that kind of thinks that she can be in a relationship and whatnot. But uh, I do see her being very kind-hearted and very understanding, though. But she won't see it from a mile away, and I think she'll actually probably still be available. She might see somebody think down the road, but it's not really going to work out for her. And for you, I mean, I see that you're kind of attracted to her, but it's not like like you're head over heels and whatnot. But you know, it might be a good chance for you to get to know her a little bit more, even become friends with her now, and then let that relationship build to where you get to know her a little bit more, and then let it build from there. And to where at the next year when it comes, you actually just might be able to ask her out in a way officially to where you guys can become like boyfriend and girlfriend. Ew, boyfriend and girlfriend. Anyway, that's what I feel for that. Okay. And Yvonne, did you want a question? Tough luck. I ain't gonna tell you shit. That's good. Yeah, like have fun in your life right now. Go mingle, go have one night stands. Go have fun. Just be respectful and safe, obviously. Yvonne. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna talk to Yvonne personally, offline. But this here, want to thank everybody for joining me tonight for my Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you offline about that, Yvonne. Um, So again, I want to thank everybody for joining me on my update here from day 8 to 13 of my 30 days of self-love. I'm going to be doing another live stream tomorrow to where I'll be able to follow up with all of you on my progress, my workout, and so forth. And with that, I want to thank you all. Have a great night. And since technically today is Thursday, happy Friday Eve. All right, thank you very much, y'all.